not conservative. Do you think he has the qualifications and the character to be the Attorney General of the United States?
Hey, Willie, how about those Georgia Bulldogs?
I'm a Vandy guy, so can't help you there. What about Matt Gaetz?
No, look, I've been very clear about my thoughts on Matt Gaetz. I stand by everything I said about him. Fundamentally, obviously, the president has the right to nominate who he sees fit to serve in his cabinet, but that's why we have a Senate confirmation process. And Matt's going to have to answer a lot of questions about the allegations that have been leveled against him, including, obviously, the allegations that he had sex with underage women and paid for it. And that's something that I think is certainly fair game and needs to be addressed by him directly through any Senate confirmation process. I do believe the president deserves a swift and fair confirmation process of his nominees, and there should be up or down votes taken quickly because we have a lot of work to do. But at the end of the day, I believe it should follow the process. I don't believe we should be in recess to do this. I believe the Senate should move swiftly on these nominations, give them a fair hearing, but have an up or down vote. And again, I think Matt is going to have a challenge when he has to actually address the allegations that have been leveled against him.
You've worked alongside Matt Gaetz for some time. Do you believe he's qualified and has the character to be Attorney General?
No. I think, obviously, I think we've seen within the Department of Justice a weaponization. I do believe that the American people sent a very clear message on Election Day that they want government to work. And so you need somebody of the highest ethical standard there, and that's why the Senate will go through the process it will go through. And ultimately, I'm sure there will be a nominee confirmed that will do the job and do it well and clean up the mess at the Department of Justice.
Congressman, I just wanted to say congratulations on the baby. How are we doing? 2 weeks old now?
We just passed the 3-week mark. My wife and I planned this very well 8 days before the election. But baby Elizabeth Rose is doing well. Thank you.
Oh, great. Okay, very briefly, just on Bobby Kennedy, who, of course, was a New York resident of your state for a long time. What are your thoughts on him as in the healthcare position, running healthcare?
Look, he was actually a resident of my district, lived in Bedford. There's many issues that I disagree with him about, including vaccines, as well as the shutting down of Indian Point. He led that effort and convinced his former brother-in-law, Andrew Cuomo, to shut down Indian Point. But I think he's also raised significant issues with respect to food in America, obesity, chronic illness. I think he certainly has more qualifications than Xavier Becerra, who's the current Secretary of Health and Human Services, who never had any qualification to be in that role. Look, again, this is why you have a Senate confirmation process. They will go through it. He will answer questions that I'm sure senators will have for him. But ultimately, I do believe President Trump has the right to nominate who he sees fit to help him. At the end of the day, it's going to be the president's direction, working with Congress to enact the policies. And these cabinet secretaries, of course, serve at the pleasure of the president and do the work of the administration. I think many of these issues have been litigated through the course of the campaign, and Donald Trump won overwhelmingly, both in the popular vote and the Electoral College, and Republicans held majorities in both the House and the Senate, despite a map that is very tight and really did not lend itself to a large majority. So, we're going to move forward. Obviously, the American people are focused on the issue of affordability, on the issue of the border crisis, on the international crises that we're dealing with. And I'm looking forward to hitting the ground running come January.
All right, Republican Congressman Mike Lawler of New York, thank you so
much.
So much.
Congratulations.
There certainly,
on many fronts.
Certainly was a big win for Donald Trump in states like Texas, Ohio, Iowa, Florida. But again, you look at the electoral college map, a good, comfortable win there. But we're a 50-50 nation. It was like 50-49. You look at the swing states; those are all within like a point. point and a half.
These votes keep coming in. Donald Trump, as I said yesterday, is now below a full majority. He's up by about 1.5 points over Kamala Harris, 49.9 to 48.5, something like that.
But that's where America has been now in the 21st century.
Yeah.
This is a 50-50 nation, and any parties that don't recognize that, even after the elections, pay.
All right, we want to turn overseas now for a very special look at one man's mission to bring a free press to Afghanistan.